Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Trump speaks to the media. Congress station I happen to know that this world is flat and based on four legs, which means we have to discomprovise the anthropology of the cracker in the bird. Uh, no, what I want to say here is now, I'm waiting for a YouTube channel to open for the live projection of the of the president. he was he's supposed like the Batmobile system. I mean the bat symbol. He's about to. You notice how my tie is really. I mean, this is a really hot summer, summer. So I have, I tied a knot here, and then I have a tie. Right. So there it is, a little tie. Because otherwise I'd be looking like this because it's hot at 22:30 at night. Anyway, so Donald Trump, the Trump president, who never plays his trumps because he's got none, is about to speak. I thought I might beforehand say something about that. I know that his sentences will be unintelligible because there will be no coherence, or alternatively, he will be speaking from a teleprompter, and he will be doing like something like, let me get something I can read aloud. Excuse me 1 minute. We'll take this one. Sweet home Chicago, Herman Parker. Come on. Oh baby, don't you want to go? Come on. Oh baby, don't you want to go back to that same old MAGA place? I'm not very good at this, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. And it's we are. I'm simply we. I am we. I am. I'm we. I am. I'm we are. I am. You are. He. She. It is. He's shitties. He's shitties. He's shitties. Never mind. So back to the same old place. Sweet home, Chicago. No, this is not working. Um, I just can't. At these temperatures, I can't sleep, and I won't because it's too early to sleep, and I can't make a parody of Donald Trump because I hate him too much. So obviously there is some soul searching to be done for me to actually forgive idiocy, although idiocy is all I never liked. I remember as a child we were boys, three boys in a poise. We were playing on this thing, yeah, and one of us was thinking, oh, we are on a volcano, so this is fire. Another one was thinking, this is water, we're sailing. The third one was thinking, we're in a jungle, so this is a branch. And we sort of, by magic of imagination, imagination, we made it possible for the game to go on in various role plays. Playing games is role plays. But then this fourth boy arrived, and he could not wrap his tiny walnut around that. So he suggested that he was supposed to be. We were all going to play one game. There was the game of soldiers, and he was supposed to be the general. And that That to me was, so disgusting that we all had sort of to go home and eat. I have some homework to do. I don't go to school yet, but I have homework to do. I need to clean up my sock drawer. Uh, I have a collection of dust I need to sort out. This is way too boring compared to what I have to do. So I would rather go pump my bicycle, you know, or fix it, because it's flat, or even repair more complicated stuff. I think I'm going to help my mother clean the potatoes with a brush. No, we didn't do that. We didn't. We didn't. We peeled them. We that was before we discovered we shouldn't have, because all the vitamins are just under the skin of the potato, and the potato compared to spaghetti and all other kinds of pasta is, food versus starch. Anyway, which is American. America is actually the nation of starch. But this fourth boy, sort of scared everybody away. The game didn't go on. Actually, we didn't want to play his little soldiers, and that has stuck in my brain. And the first thing I heard about Trump was that when I noticed that I heard about him, was when he said it's all about connections. And I thought, yeah, of course it is. I know this corruption is well known. Well, there's this thing called merit, and merit has nothing to do with connections. It has to do with corrections. Actually, these are facts, and if you adjust to the facts, you get merit. If you do not, you are regarded as a fool. Like if you don't think gravity exists, you're gonna flunk. You're just gonna fail your testing, right? Testing. So that's merit. Merit is if you know what's going on, you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, you know stuff about stuff, you know about the scientific method, which goes like this. You have an idea, you think this might work or not work, you test it to see if it works. Whatever you find, you share with others who then repeat the test. And if they find the same thing that you found, then you have 2 out of 2. Then you share it with more people, and you have 5 out of 5 and 7 out of 8 and stuff like that. And so it becomes credible that you are onto something, right? That's the scientific method. You cannot prove that it's true, but you are trying to prove that it's not true in order to be sure that it is. Just like in a court of law, you know, innocent until proven guilty. Like you try to prove him innocent or her, not so often, because inequality is there and here and everywhere. You try to prove him innocent. Uh, and if that's not possible, then he must be guilty. Like Sherlock Holmes said, if all other possibilities are ruled out, you have to go with what the evidence tells you. Just like with this universe. This universe is so finely adjusted that you take the 4 basic, I don't know what you call those powers, gravity, stronger and weaker, and electronic, what, 2 long words. We should call them Greta, Hermlin, August, and Trod. That's what we should call them. I think so. Anyway, excuse me a moment. It's rather hot. If you put these four basic powers into a computer model, by all means available, and you then try to see what happens when you adjust one of them, and they all are very, it's like Bambi, on ice. You cannot move one foot without the whole thing falling down, actually. So that's this universe. So people come up with, because there is a dogma which is not real. It's not even a theory. It's just a dogma. It's like, why are you doing this? Because it's so nice when I stop. It's yeah. So that's what they say. Come up the idea of multiple universes, so that this finding can be an expression of coincidence, which by itself is a thing we ought to define. Just like God has never been defined. Never. You don't, if we have a definition of God. Now, back to the other thing first. So they postulate that there are an infinite number of universes, because otherwise this one wouldn't be a coincidence. Then onto the non-defined God. If we don't define what God is, we cannot talk about him. But we don't. But I assume that the definition of God is one of three things, or two. It is, I don't get into aliens here because I'm talking about the universe, not somebody in the universe. The consciousness behind the universe that might be there to make it so finely adjusted that it doesn't collapse in our computer models. And we have to take care here, because those computer models are something we make, right? But anyway, following along the computer model stuff, So it has to be a coincidence, or else there would be a God, right? That's perhaps probably why the scientists are so much against the idea of the universe not being a coincidence, is that religion has proven to be uh, a powerhouse of bigotry and oppression. And in some periods in his history, it's also been to some extent a good force. Maybe because there's something to it, but it wasn't the overwhelming impression you would get if you arrived in a Monty Python movie about the Spanish inconsequentialism. Why am I wearing headphones? So maybe this is not even being recorded. Never mind. What was I saying? Yeah. Then the idea of God, if we define this, we have three possibilities. We can define God as someone some kind of intelligence that is responsible for this perfect order in the universe, which is rather unlikely, according to scientists. Some kind of intelligence that dictates the rules of the universe. And that could be an order and a matter of, many kinds of things. But let's assume that there are the three I can handle, or two. One is, in the mechanistic universe, everything is just going as it will be. There's nothing you can do, but there's no spirit. There's nothing to change the mechanic of the world. So what we imagine being our mind is really just a complicated version of uh, cause and effect. Then if there is a spirit or intelligence behind this unlikely universe, then we have two possibilities actually. One is it's an intelligence that follows the mechanistic universe, right? Because it already knows everything. And it only controls, it's like a cold thing. It's just cold. So, right. Or alternatively, this intelligence could be a loving entity which or who would say, okay, I will be blind in that I will not want to know what happens in the future because there might be beings in my world who do not wish to, because I'm infinitely intelligent, who do not wish to be programs. So if I shut off my knowledge about what happens after the creation of other beings, then that would be very exciting. Everything else, in fact, would be rather boring because I'd already know. So think about that. And for now, where's it going? Thank you.